Surely, Mr. Azim, you can't end it by simply saying some individual, somebody somewhere, non-state actors. It's more than that. It's more than that. That's what India wants to hear from Pakistan.
Yes, I know what you want to hear, but I'm afraid you'll have to also learn some facts as well. What has happened in Pakistan? Pakistan is a victim of terrorism. What's going on in our borders? Why don't you use your own influence? For example, when you mention Quetta, why don't you use the influence to get hold of all the Afghani people living in Quetta, for example, all the refugees? We have got over 2 million Afghan refugees still in Pakistan, which Afghanistan refuses to take back. These people are the breeding ground for a lot of activities that go across the border from us. There's lots of things. Not many years ago, these very Taliban who are Taliban today were Mujahideen of the 70s and the 80s. At that time, of course, you were in a Russian satellite, so you did not speak about much. But the rest of the free world at that time were backing these very people, Mujahideen. They were, no, this is very important that we must, and your viewers must understand the history and the background to all this. How we became victim of all this. We did not have this narcotic culture. We did not have this Kalashnikov culture. Who gave it to us? How it came to Pakistan? This is very important for your viewers to understand, the rest of the world understand. When America was trying to get rid of the Russians from Afghanistan, at that time they were backing these people, the same Taliban who were at that time the Mujahideen, and to...
Yeah, but though that is there, Mr. Azim, I think I'm just losing the link with you. Yeah, I think I was just losing the link with you. We'll try and come back on the link with you. Yeah, you're back. Yes, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Mr. Azim.
Yes.
No, Mr. Azim, we just lost the link with you. I was just making the point that no, it's not about scoring points. That is not the idea. The simple idea is one sympathizes that you are the victims of terrorism as well. But at the same time, the duality of approach is what is causing concern, and that there will not be a final solution till today you take one step forward and perhaps also say that similarly as you probably got it wrong on Kasaf, as you got it wrong on Lakwi, as you got it wrong on Pakistan, no, Pakistan is not being involved, as you got it wrong on Pakistani soil not being used, you're probably also wrong on Masood Azhar. You're probably also wrong on Dawood Ibrahim. You're probably also wrong on the LET and the Jamaat-ud Dawa continuing to operate, flagrantly violating UN Resolution 1822. That's the point. That's the point, that you can't end it at this.
How very interesting. How very interesting that you should bring up United Nations resolutions. How about the resolution of United Nations of 1948, which asked for plebiscite in Kashmir? How about you denying that 60,000 innocent civilians in Kashmir have been killed by your forces in occupied Kashmir? You are part of Kashmir. I mean, why you always have to see only one side of the picture?
I am looking at it. I am looking at it, Mr. Azim, in the
If there is anybody in the denial mode, I am afraid it is Indian government is in the denial mode.
Okay.
You do not recognize that there is a basic problem, Kashmir problem, which is giving rise to many problems on both sides of the border.
Mr. Azim, with the highest respect, I am only looking at the statements of the last 2 months and the contradictory statements on Masood Azhar, because everyone knows that on 17th December 08, Qureshi told Newshour at 9 p.m. Pakistan that Masood Azhar is in our custody, and then within 24 hours, your Ministry of Foreign Affairs said he is at large. So these are the kind of contradictions that have been there on Kasaf as well. I don't want to go back to 1948. Let's look at what Pakistan said 1 month back. Harish Salve, why did you think it was a setup? You want to explain that to Mr. Azim so we can get a response?
That, Arunab.
Yes.
Arunab, I'm sorry. You have a guest from Pakistan who has said all sorts of things about India, and I think somebody needs to reply to that. First of all, he talks of Indians considering Pakistan insincere. Let me remind him, sincerity is not a virtue which you have on Tuesdays and Fridays, and insincerity on Mondays and Thursdays. Sincerity is a characteristic. If you change your statement from day to day, the day on which you are making a sensible statement, you don't become sincere. It only proves your dishonesty. Secondly, please don't think India is scoring points against Pakistan. You score points against somebody who is somewhere near your equal. I don't think politically or economically Pakistan is anywhere in the same league. So we don't need to score points. Thirdly, as far as Kashmir is concerned, we have a problem in Kashmir, but the main problem in Kashmir is a neighbor like Pakistan who foments trouble. So please let's keep all this out and focus on 2611. As far as 2611 is concerned, when statements are changing from day to day, and when the next dole check from America is due, Pakistan suddenly turns around and says something, of course we consider it a setup. As Mr. Parthasarathi said, there is no specific answer to the point. Why is it stopping at the foot soldiers? There is no specific answer to the point. How is it in 24 hours there has been such dramatic investigation that there has been a complete turnaround? So all this makes us feel that we are being set up. And I think he made a Freudian slip when he said, we have said what we had to, India should be satisfied if you need anything more from us. I think the truth has come out by mistake. What he meant is we have said it, now that's enough. Those fellows have come, our non-state actors have come, I call them state-sponsored actors, have come, wreaked havoc in Bombay. We have today admitted it all happened in Pakistan. What more do you want? Okay. I am sorry.
Right.
None of this is convincing. There are no answers to what Mr. Parthasarathi put on the table. There are no answers to how statements have changed from day to day. There are no answers on what is this dramatic investigation in 24 hours. And therefore, all this makes us very suspicious of what is going on.
Yet,
we are legitimate in assuming that it is the American pressure which has brought you this far. And if you are acting purely under pressure, then we are entitled to assume that all that you are intending to do is to find an escape route and get out of this difficulty.